afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Central PA Live. Today is Monday, August 27th, and I'm Morgan Kosiar, filling in for Mr. Alex Hazard.
Yes, and I'm John Clay, filling in for maybe Amanda, Kenny, or whoever is lucky enough to be here.
Exactly.
Today it's me.
John Clay. Well, as always, we have a great show planned for you, but right now it's time for today's 2 cents. Okay, John, listen to this. You brought an apple with you.
Yes, I know about the segment.
First story is about an apple. Well, USA Today reports that the Gala apple is likely to pass the Red Delicious to become America's favorite apple. The Red Delicious has held the #1 spot for more than a half-century. The U.S. Apple Association, which I didn't know they had, predicts that Gala production will exceed to Red Delicious output this year, and Granny Smith apples rank 3rd. Consumers apparently like the Gala's taste, texture, and sweetness. And now you brought what kind of apple?
I'm a big apple eater, and I have a apple. This is the Honey Crisp.
Okay.
And it is. It was originally made in Minnesota, but they grow them around here locally. And so I brought some in. I know you tasted it earlier, but these are very sweet, honey and crisp. You know, those are the two parts of it that are just so. It's very snappy, very sweet, and it doesn't bruise very easily.
Yeah,
so I like it.
It's kind of small. I thought it kind of had a tart. Little bit of tart,
they do get big too. They get pretty sizable. I'd say the biggest drawback is they tend to be expensive.
Oh,
it's
really?
kind of a craft apple.
So do you bake with this? Do you know? This is some apples are better for making ciders and your sauces.
I tend to just snack with them.
Yeah,
which will
that's
probably
my
come
favorite
up later in the show.
Oh, okay.
Snack ideas.
I like Fiji apples. What?
Yeah, Fuji, right?
Fuji?
Isn't it Fuji?
Oh, Fiji's the place
Fiji
where you
water.
visit.
And then,
Fiji water, that's where you visit for vacation. Okay. All right, well, listen to this. The age-old game of chess has made a quirky makeover in the World Dive Chess Championships, which took place in London on Saturday. Players used a magnetic board and pieces. Now, while the rules remain the same, the playing environment is a little more challenging, with players only able to make moves while being submerged in a swimming pool. Once players have dived under the water surface, they cannot come back up for air until they've made their move. The tournament is played over 4 rounds, with each match lasting up to an hour. You know, I'm really good at holding my breath.
Really?
Yeah, and I actually won an iPad in a bet because of it. Like doing laps underwater, all holding my breath. Yeah.
How many times did you make?
4. It was like in a hotel swimming pool, and my stepdad, oh, you can't do it. I said, I'll bet you the new iPad. And, you know, he made the bet knowing.
So you went back and forth, back and forth?
All underwater.
Wow.
Not coming up.
Yeah, so you could easily play chess. They weren't holding their breath for more than a couple seconds?
Yeah, it was just back under to do their plays. It wasn't.
I don't see that as very special. I'd go with your 4 laps.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you competitive? I'm pretty...
Extremely competitive.
Yeah.
Yes, I have an older brother, and basically, if there's anything, I grew up having to compete in everything, every single game, every single sport, and I learned tennis just so I could beat him. You know, for months and months I practiced and trained just so I could go back and beat my brother, which I did.
And you're the younger brother, so
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a trait of younger brothers, having to always prove that I can do everything he could do.
Yeah,
and you know.
You've got a house full of boys too, so I'm sure competition
I definitely bringing that competition with them, and I don't tend to throw the games too much. You know, I like to keep the bar high so that they know they have to work for it.
Right.
If they want to beat Dad, they've got to work for it.
That's important. Yeah. Okay, well, we told you about the car that was going to be up for auction. Well, it sold. This Ferrari GTO is the most valuable car ever sold in a public auction, selling for a record-breaking $48 million. The 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO sold for a $48 million Saturday. So Sotheby's Monterey Collection car sale in California, only 3 dozen of these were ever made. The GTOs are so pricey because they were dominant in racing, you know, cars in the 60s, and hey, they look pretty nice
Beautiful.
too.
$48 million though.
I know. What would you spend on a car?
There's no way I would buy an item, a single item, for 40, unless I was sure that it was going to keep its value.
Yeah.
But even that, I can't imagine. I mean, I think like Kevin was mentioning it, an island maybe $48 million, but I don't know about any item like that.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, $48 million. But if you've got a billion, if you're a billionaire, maybe it's not so much. So.
I'd have to spend it on experiences.
Yeah,
you know,
trips,
material
travels,
things.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything special about this Ferrari. Like maybe if it was the one in Ferris Bueller's Day Off or something. I mean,
it looked similar to
kinda
that.
like,
I wonder. I have to look that up. It did look like that.
It did.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of people started school last week. Even you said your boys did.
Yeah.
Or they're even starting today or this week. Well, Alex talked to actress and Instagram star Busy Phillips about some back-to-school snacking options. Let's see. Well, and also coming up on Central PA Live, Alex learned how to curl. And you actually, you come from the area where there's a lot of Olympic
Yeah,
curlers.
so a lot of curlers come from northern Minnesota, where I'm from. Actually, this is the town where I'm from, in Bemidji. We have a huge curling population, and but I've never done it. So I know we can do it
That's
right around
great.
here, and look at that. That's Jordan Tracy on his butt.
I know.
Right there.
And then next up, we're going to check in with Mike Doyle. Hey, Mike. Hey.